Hello and welcome back. My name's Andreas, and this is the sequel to the episode The Challenge, which you have seen last week. Now, in this episode, I will be literally rising up. So here we go. Now, the first thing that you have to remember is that I had this large company with 50 workstations and all upgraded. And basically what I did is I tried to get my company up and running as fast as possible. Today I'm focusing on making a little bit more money, and then I want actually to move to the skyscraper. I need $1 million to make this happen because, as we can see here in the company menu in the buildings tab, I need to pay $1 million. So in order to move to the skyscraper. But actually I need this room because although I have only 50 people, I need some more, and I will show you in a minute why. So let's just get started. And I await now some more contracts to happen. And there is the first one. Now, what is this? A medium urgency contract. I have almost everything, but I have to say I don't really like this contract that much. You know what? I will decline it. So let's have a look. Oh, and they're already home. There will be no more contracts today. So I just jump to the next day. And there it is. Okay, this is another medium urgency, but this time at least I have all the components and modules ready, so I will bid on it. I go as high as 290. Yep, I got it. Close, deliver, and move on. And there's the next one, another medium urgency, and I'm missing a backend module. Yeah, well, I can nevertheless bid on it. And I got it. Very good. And now I hope that the backend module will be produced pretty fast. There is somebody working on it right now. Yeah, that looks actually quite good. It'll be done in a second, literally. Okay, it was 2 seconds. Well done. Now, in the meantime, I will have a look around. So far, I don't see any unhappy faces. This is good. And the next contract. Low urgency. Yeah, thank you, but no thank you. And there's another one. Well, I've already mentioned in the other game that patience is really something that is required here in this game, at least sometimes. Yeah, really picking up right now. Oh, somebody's idling. We can't have that. Probably came out of training. Okay, so Frank, you know what? You can actually start doing something for me, and that is copywriting material. Very good. Start doing this. Next contract's ready. Oh my goodness me. You remember in the last episode how I was complaining all the time because I had one low urgency contract after the other and nothing was really moving? Yeah, it seems that this episode, this video is actually cursed. So yeah, I declined this anyway. It will come around. I'm pretty sure about that. So I just make the picture a little smaller so that we can see the whole company in one. And since I'm not recruiting, I will just jump to the next day. And actually speed it up a little bit. And the next low urgency contract. Hello. Brilliant. Come on, you can do better. No, obviously you can't. Oh my goodness. Oh, stop. There is somebody else idling. Okay, let's go back to the 50%. Now, whom we have here? Nell. Thank you, Nell. You will do text format components. Very good. And here we have Max Jensen, and I will ask him to do the image format. Brilliant. So marketing is now on its way, and that will actually speed up the acquisition of new paying customers. So that's really something to look forward to. And yet another low urgency contract. So, and another one. Very good. You are doing copywriting as well. Now, why do I choose so many copywritings? Now, let me show you here in the marketing tab. Copywriting components are more looked after, more sought after than the others. For example, here for the banner ads, you need for the easiest, for the smallest campaign, you need six copywriting components, only one image format and one text format. So this is the relation, the ratio. So many more copywriting components than anything else. So this is why I'm doing this. Speeding up. God help me. So jumping to the next day right away. Let's see. Well, at least it is a medium urgency contract. So 28,000 can be, yes, can be made here, and got it. Very good. Now things are looking up a little bit. I'm still scraping around the 777,000. What I need is 1 million. I actually hoped for a little bit more of good contracts. So with medium or high urgency. So, as I said, a little patience here. Shouldn't be too long now. Yes, high urgency. Thank you. Now I will go as high as 500. Could have gone much higher actually. But after this long streak of low urgency contracts, I don't really want to jeopardize losing a contract of high urgency just because I get greedy. Now look at what I have here. Another high urgency. Yes. Now we are getting somewhere. Brilliant. Now have a look at this number. This is $848,000. Now let's have a look at the loans. I think this is enough because altogether I can scrape here 230,000. Yes, I will do this now. 1, yes. 2, yes. 3, yes. So I've taken all 3 loans again. And look what we have now. More than 1 million cash. And that is all I needed. So let's move out. Very good. Now, the first thing you notice when you move to the skyscraper is that something's missing. Actually, quite a bit of things are missing. And on the other hand, there is a lot of cash which you wouldn't expect because we just had 1,070,000. So how does it happen that I now have 244,000? Well, here's the answer. When you move to the skyscraper, at least with Beta 14, it is like that, and the Beta 13 as well, actually. As soon as you move to the skyscraper, because its floor space is somewhat smaller than the large office, actually some of the stuff that is beyond the borders of the small skyscraper floor is just removed. And you get your cash back 1-to-1, so there's no loss. And all the people that were sitting on that area are now in your employees folder noted as idling. So they are somewhat in the air, standing around, doing nothing. And that is actually the next thing we have to do. We have to reorganize the whole office. And this is actually what I'm going to do now. Now, in Beta 14, we have actually 5 floors. So this is quite roomy. And usually I like to do it like this. I like to have the developers, for example, in the first floor. But this is just, you know, out of whim. You can have it differently. You can have the lead developers in the first floor or designers, or you can mix it up all together. But actually, I like to have one type of worker at one place. So just to not lose the focus. So let's see. Since I have already all my lead developers on this floor, I will basically leave them here, but I will move my sales executive and I get them really high up. So, and I hope there's enough oxygen up there so that they will not lose their cool. And the designers, I think I will elevate, let's say 2 floors. As I said, I just do this, you know, for fun. So in the very beginning, of course, since you don't really have that much stuff, you can play around with it, put new furniture in, or maybe even glass walls. So as for the managers, things are a little bit different. Sorry. Because the managers so far I actually neglected a little bit. And the reason for that was that due to the new auto-repeat function, I can have my employees working non-stop without connecting them to a manager. But now this has to change. Why? First of all, a manager gives a speed boost, and speed is what we like in this game because otherwise it's going really slow. And the other thing is that managers from Beta 14 actually, have a new quality. They can actually lead a team and produce certain numbers of components or modules. And I will show you this in a second, how I will utilize this in order to get a group of people working together on different things. Now, but we have to continue our movement. So in the second floor, for example, I can put some developers, and let's just put one desk here so that I can show you what happened to all the employees. Look at them. They are all now standing around in the lobby waiting for a new desk. So yeah, let's give them a desk then. Okay, so the minute you seat them, everything's back to normal. In other words, if she was like Amelia Dawson, if she was producing something in particular, she is now picking up where she left. And the only difference is if she was connected to a manager, then this connection might have been broken because, for example, the manager is currently not sitting on a chair. So you have to figure out whether everything is still in working order or not. But this is a quick fix, so nothing to worry. I will continue now to place some workstations. Actually, I will place another one, and then I will check how many of these developers I need to seed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 people. Okay, so very good. Now let's start with her. That's done. And so I need another 10 chairs around here. So, okay, very good. Now I will place her something like this. And now shopping is in order. Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last one. And now I can put them all in their chairs, and they will happily continue to work. May look a little tiresome, I give you that. Oh, and look, this is just happened by chance that I can spot somebody unhappy. 29 is really not a mood with which you should go to work. So I send her home right away. Etta, have fun. Enjoy the beach. Okay, Florence. And here we have Jason. Jason is in a very good mood. Like to see that. So fortunately, we only have to do this once. And I can tell you that the developer of this game, Jonas, he's actually thinking of rearranging things a little bit. Basically, his idea is to enlarge the ground floor of the skyscraper. And that would mean that after moving to it, we don't have to do all this clicking right here. You're still able to change everything. That's not it. But just when you move from the large office to the skyscraper, you don't have to rearrange everything right from the start. So you could just continue working, and then as time goes by, you just pick one thing or another, and you're saying, okay, I want to change something, and then you can do it in your own time. You don't have to do it right away. So my developers are back to work. Now, there are some other people who need space. For example, my DevOps. So I will just put them right here. I need to put them somewhere. So right for the moment, I will put them next to the sales executives. So where are they? There's one. Very good. And the next is Gertrude. Okay, Gertrude, welcome back. So, and Lizzie. Very good. Well, actually, they were quite busy. That's really nice. So if I want to build another server, this can happen right away. Really nice. And here we have Nina. And there should be another one. And there he is, Warren. Very good. So now they are all seated brilliantly. Now, whom else? I have seen some designers. So the designers are currently on the 3rd floor. Alrighty. So I think I had 9 of them. So another 6 chairs are needed. And have a seat. Good. Now things are speeding up because most people are back to their workstations. So it's a smaller selection now. Doesn't take that long anymore. Very good. All right, these were the designers, and basically, why not putting the marketers in the same floor? So marketers, I believe I had 8 in total. 2 are sitting here. Now I can show you something else that is really cool in Beta 14. You can actually start moving stuff between skyscraper floors. Like so, you make a right click and you just go to the floor you wish to go. Like so. Oh, there's nobody. Okay, one up. And for example, here we are. Yes, here are the designers. Okay, I set designers and marketers I put together now. And there he is. Just a left click. So again, right click, moving to the other floor, turning it, positioning it, left click, and there it is. Very good. Now you can move people, you can move workstations, you can move furniture. Everything is now quite convertible from one floor to the other. It's really nice. So, still in need of a few workstations for my marketers. Oh, I made one extra. Very good. I don't need it really. So, on to the bin and gone. Very good. And now I will seat them as well. And you see now it's going really fast because I don't really have to look through the catalog anymore. There. Now you may notice something actually, that I have these groups of 8, and that of course is for a reason. 8 people is the maximum amount one manager actually can manage if he is or she is an expert. And this is actually what I'm aiming for right now. So I will now go back to my first floor and I will actually pick up 2 of these managers and I will redistribute them. So for example, I will take this one and place it to the marketers, for example. And now I will show, first of all, I will see what May Osborne's conditions. She's already an intermediate. And she's so close to becoming an expert, but we actually have to reach tier 10 first. Okay, so it'll take a little while longer. Doesn't really matter. So I go to the employees tab and I will just choose 5 of them right now. For example, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's brilliant. And the other 3, well, I just leave them being for the time. I mean, it doesn't take very long to reach tier 10 from now on. So let me pick up another manager, this one. I'm sitting over here to the designers. And let's see who is sitting here. Lydia and Gerald. Okay. So maybe not Lydia and Gerald, but all the others, or almost. I will take in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 people are now connected. Now, since I have done that, I need to make sure that they're actually working. So here is the production tab. And I think I've shown you already the production tab in the other video, just to have a small repetition here. I can choose how many components of each type the workers that are connected to a manager are producing. Once this number has been reached, they just stop doing that particular component. Now, the funny is, it doesn't mean that they stop working. I mean, it probably was the idea, but if you have more than one component or module that your group is or your team is working on, they will just keep going. So no worries whatsoever. I just set this number, for example, to 100, or actually I make it now 1,000. Okay, and 1,000 here and 1,000 there. And now these people will hack away brilliantly. And I will have the same thing here in the production tab. Currently, I have only copywriting. Well, this is peculiar because I have more people working for me, but maybe I have those who are training connected to the manager, and that really doesn't make sense right now because I want to get the production moving, not the training. So Loretta Perkins and Ernest Rodriguez, for example, if they are connected, then I probably should disconnect them. Loretta Perkins, there you go. Not Mr. Rodriguez, so he is not connected. Okay, he's there, currently available. So, but who is doing some work actually? Frank and Bertie and Nell. There is Nell, for example. Well done. Okay, and how is Frank? Frank is connected. Very good. Now look at the production tab. Okay, and now we all of a sudden we have the other product as well, the other component. Very good. Somebody working on image format? Yes, that's Max Jensen. Okay, so let's see that we unhook somebody else who is training rather than doing something like, I believe, Edward. And I get Max for it. So production. Now the third component has shown up. Very good. And another 100. So now what's going to happen is all the workers are now starting doing these components, but there is one slight hitch. So look at this. You have in the production tabs not only all the components people are working on, you also have the number of employees who are actually doing them. And now it's becoming tricky because the power of this production tab is only shown and is already really used when several employees can work on more than one component. And right now this is not happening. So, for example, if somebody is working text format only, and he has done, let's say, 100 text format components, but we need image format or copywriting, he can't do it. He can't just chip in. So what we need to do now in the skyscraper is actually make sure that people are multitasking capable, so that they can do, not multitasking, not at the same time, of course, but they are capable of actually doing different things, that they know how to do more than one component. So I'm doing the same thing here. And believe me, this is money well spent. Okay, this is done. He is done. And of course, Nell. Now, all of my employees, look in the production tab, what happened now? All of my employees are now capable of producing copywriting components. And funny enough, only 3 of them text and image format, so probably an oversight. I will rectify this in a second. And then they are all capable of doing the same things. And so whatever is lowest in stock will be produced by everybody. And so I have a guarantee that I am already always stocked well. So who has not learned everything? Bertie. Okay. So Bertie is now part of the team, and now you see the numbers have changed. 4 employees are capable of doing everything. And now I just let them work. I don't need anything else. Very good. So the others are not connected to the manager because I want them to train. And once they have finished their training, then I will hook them up as well, and I will educate them so that they can produce all the components. So let's go to the designers. What's going on here? Everything's fine, very good. So second floor is without any manager so far. This will be changed as well pretty soon. But right now, actually, I'm looking for another kind of worker. I will look at this really empty floor. Something will be happening here. Don't you worry. Now I need researchers, because if you have noticed is when I reached tier 5, researchers became available, but I never hired them. And there was a reason for that. Because right now, since the beta 14 is a little bit different, I didn't really see a necessity for hiring them right away, because what they are doing is they allow me to install new features, and that is one thing that you really don't need at the start, and I will explain later why that is. So let's get the recruitment going. Looking for a researcher. Actually 3. Okay, money is spent. So other than that, I think we are almost happy. The lead developers here are all in training still, and these are all doing something. Okay, so let's continue. And I got a contract, medium urgency, gladly taken. I mean, I just took 3 loans, and I want to pay them back, of course. Right. Not the contract I like. I'm still running on half power, because the other girl is still in holidays. So I'm going a little higher this time. 530, fingers crossed. Yep, that went well. Truth to be told, I have secretly played another game, and in this game I went as high as 550. So $550 for the high urgency contracts. And it worked well for me. I mean, I lost 1 or 2 contracts, but it was not that bad. But I need a little bit more money overall before I start doing things like these. So I already have 135, so let's pay back the first loan right away. There you are. And have a look at the candidates. So, well, this is a rather modest picture. So far, the highest number is in the 70s. So I think I will clear out everything else. Okay, 174 and 174. Okay, these are my best candidates as of now. And of course, my product is still running rather slow. My 5 small virtual server can still handle everything, but I could actually install a medium virtual server. And you know what? I'm doing it right now. There it is. This is of course something that will soon be changing. $164, okay. Oh, 200! Look at that. So I think one can go. Now, as I have mentioned in the first video, you yield much more candidates when you have the program running on normal speed than on high speed. So you just have to sit through it. Can't be helped. Almost there. 178. Well, it is at least better than 176. Numbers are good, so I'll take this one. Recruitment is running for another 7 hours, so 171, no. So I will hire this right away because I want her to start with the new day. Okay, there you go. And guess what? It's training time, as always. And with the researcher, this actually makes more sense. And I will show you pretty soon why. Basically, what happens is that you get better features if you let them train a little longer. So let's continue. And the first contract of the day, medium urgency, not too shabby. And I got it, yes, by $2 per hour. Brilliant. And my second sales executive is back from holiday. Brilliant. Now money making should be much easier. Yes, got it. But also much noisier. You see, there's one thing that is a little bit annoying. This is that your sales executives are constantly seeking attention. They always want something. I mean, what's their training for? Whoops. That one I lost by $2. Okay. But there's another one. Oh, and this time it was Uber code with as low as 268. Okay, I wouldn't bid that low at any cost. Okay, let's have another go. Yeah, that's the one. That was a good contract. And we have a high urgency. 530. And easily won. Which basically means one thing. Going to the loans tab, I will pay back the second one. And actually, it won't take long before I can actually pay back the third and last one. Very good. So let's have a look at the employees tab. The recruitment is going for another 3 hours. And I have 2 candidates with 178. Not really the best I have seen, I have to admit. But it doesn't really matter, the truth to be told. We'll see in a second what's really important with the researchers. Good. More money coming in. Okay, going back to 290. And again, Uber code. Seriously, guys, what do you have for lunch? You can't afford anything. Now, what I'm going to do now is, and this is actually something you have to get used to when you play the skyscraper. You have to move between the floors, at least in the very beginning. Shortly, I will do something that I haven't done, I haven't avoided so far, which is hiring a human resource manager. and I will show you how I can actually use him to manage personnel quite well, actually, because there have been some changes as well. So, Alexander Roy, please upgrade. I'm not interested in the new modules, by the way. Now that you can see, there are some modules unlocked when a lead developer becomes an intermediate leading developer. But I'm not interested in that right now, because for a very long time, actually, in the game, all these modules are not really used. This will come later. Right now, I'm really interested in speed, and they will actually speed up quite well. So, training continues, and the others will come around pretty soon, okay? So, let's go back to work. Oh, and look what happens here. Many people are idling as well, so let's look after the contract first. Very good. 5:30 actually. And got it. Brilliant. So, all these idling people, we can't have that. So, let's go and upgrade them. Same thing. Because training is everything. Of course, they cost more. Every time you promote somebody, he wants $1,500 per month more. You know, this is 30 bucks, 50 bucks per day, so it's not really that much. Of course, if you have 120 employees, yeah, then it is kind of money. But still, it's not that bad. And they do so much more. So, training for the developers is arranged. Let's have a look at these guys. Oh, look. Here as well we can upgrade and train. Because right now I don't really need that many people producing components for marketing. Let's see, what could we do right now? We could, for example, start with a campaign, like a banner ad campaign. And I could, for example, spend for 1 day only. I could spend $5,000 and these components to have one campaign for 1 day. So it's not bad. But I'm holding off a little bit, just for a little while longer. So let's have a look at this floor. Oh, it's still empty. Okay. So, and now, as for my candidates, the search is always almost over. Right, this is the kind of contract we are looking for. Brilliant. So I stop right there. You see how fast I could actually get the money together once the second sales executives came back from holiday. Really fast. And so I will now pay back the last of the loans. So I'm loan free again. And I still have $112,000 in cash. So not bad, right? Let's buy some stuff so that I can make my researchers feel welcome. Oh, there's a 186 actually. Brilliant. So I guess you have to go. Recruitment's over, so it's the two of you. Thank you. Welcome to the club. And start training, please. Right. So now I promised you to show you what the thing is with the researchers. Now what a researcher does is two things. They research either what is called a framework, more to that later, or features. And that is what I'm interested right now. And basically I'm interested in only one feature, and that is what is called a landing page. Now, why am I not interested in all the other stuff? Because it has shown with the beta 14 that actually all these features, they actually hinder the process of getting the product forward. Sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And I will show you in a second why this is. Now, while we are here, I will push this button where it says create an instance. Create an instance, I have already explained in another video, basically means that whenever a researcher has done his work, I can actually like take a copy of this new program that he has created, because I think, or I believe that all these features are basically part of a computer code, and I just make a copy of this. Now let's do this. Now as a beginner, every researcher gives a bonus, and I can choose between 3 different bonuses here, and I will actually go for the maximum efficiency, and you will see in a second why this is. So create the instance. Thank you. Now I get a warning that I should use lead developers to optimize this new feature before I implement it, and that is actually very sound advice. Let's head over to the product, and then I can show you what this is all about. Now let's go in the infrastructure tab. Sorry, I don't know what this is with me today. Now you can see here that under landing page we actually have 2 instances or 2 copies of a landing page. One of the 2, the top one, is active, which is why the green toggle switch is on. The other one is the one that we have just created, and that actually has a potential efficiency of 40%, whereas the other one has a potential of 20%, so it's not that good. Now, what I have to do is I have to raise the real efficiency, because the real efficiency is responsible for the response time. This is the number right next to it. And this response time, believe it or not, is crucial to pushing the product forward. Why? Well, here's why. Because when you go into the hosting, there you see that you have something that is called a compute unit, CU. And when you put a new server in, you get more compute units. Now your infrastructure is actually using these compute units, and the response time is actually the number that makes the difference between the use of many compute units or few compute units. So in short words, you see I'm struggling here. The lower this number is, the faster everything works, so the more efficient. That makes sense. And for that very reason, we need to drop this number as soon as possible. And the nice effect is that we need less servers to run our product. And many people who have tried to do the beta 14, what they did is they implemented new features like the login system, the comment functionality, and others. And then they said, I can't really get my product profitable because I need to put so many servers in here. And the answer to that problem is stick with the landing page. Do not implement other features. And we will see later that improving on a feature is much more efficient to raise the number of potential users, which is this number here. It's actually so much more effective. It's like crazy. Like, for example, I work a little bit on this new copy that I've just produced, and you will see I can actually raise the number of potential users by 500,000, whereas implementing the login system would raise it to a total of 120,000. And at the same time, it totally would ruin my base response time. So it really doesn't make sense to implement new features as far as the game goes. Just stick with the landing page, improve on it, and then at some point I will change it. I will change from one copy to another once I have hit around 61,000 real paying users. Right now I have 6K. And so it's about 10%. So really no hurry. Of course, when I now start to market more aggressively, in other words, when I go and I start doing these marketing campaigns, like email campaigns and banner ads, then of course, the number of registered users will increase rather swiftly. And then I have to be prepared. But one at a time. So, to sum it all up, I have been moving. I've used the loans again to make this happen a little bit more quickly. I had to move some stuff around. I've shown you how the different floor space of the skyscraper is actually forcing you right now to rearrange stuff and to get to your workers back to work. And we have now researchers, and I've shown you what they are for. And I think this is actually a good point to stop. And I will continue this special series the next time by actually hiring more people, adding some managers to get them to better speed, to better production numbers. And then, of course, I will also start marketing with the help of marketers. Alrighty, so thanks for watching.